Hi guys, it's Sincerely Steph and I am back with another video. This video is so that I can do a story time. I'm so hyped for story time, y'all, because just to share so much about my pregnancy journey, just lots of questions that I get on a regular, stuff that everybody wanted to know. But I mean, while your girl was going through pregnancy, your girl was going through pregnancy. That's really to cover it. There was no way I was gonna record while I was going through, but I'm super hyped to share stories with y'all so that I can answer all your questions, 1 and 2, take y'all through my journey. So boom, first story time, how I found out I got pregnant. PS, bonus details. Okay, let's go.
If you got it, it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no room for guessing. No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections. Oh, if I let you, don't take me for granted. Yeah, if I were good, then you could manage.
Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. Turn on your notifications. If you've already done all that and you're not new here, I appreciate you, boo. Welcome back. Okay, so let me just start off with a full disclosure. My man, us, we, the two of us, team, did not plan to get pregnant. So it's actually kind of crazy because when you think about manifesting and speaking things into existence, you know how people be like, watch what you say, you gonna speak it up. That's exactly what I did. So if you do the math, I got pregnant in sometime around the end of August, very beginning of September. Only reason why I know that specifically is because I know all the nitty-gritty details as to what went down those weekends. I'm gonna keep it PG, okay? Put it on me. And yeah, so that's around the time that I got pregnant, and it's kind of crazy because a couple months before that, I was sitting in my best friend's kitchen it was me, my best friend, my man, my brother-in-law, my best friend's mom, so my sis and my other mother. And we were all talking about having a baby, bro. I was literally sitting there telling them we're not trying to have kids. I'm not trying to force nothing. We're not trying. None of that. But if I ended up pregnant sometime this year, I would not be mad about it. Straight up, that's just how I was feeling. I was in love with my man. I am more than stable financially. I've been on my own. I've finished college. I've started my career. I've excelled in my career. What else do you want a girl to do before she brings life into the world? So nevertheless, I was talking about it and everybody was looking at me like I was crazy, my man included. He was like, what? No, we not having no kids no time soon, kind of thing. And I feel him. I do. I really do. I wasn't trying to rush anything, but straight up, I was just saying how I feel, right? Well, I spoke it up, guys, because sure enough, later that year I was pregnant. So the thing is, again, we did not plan this. We honestly thought we took precautions, kind of, a little bit. Anyways, so the last weekend of August, honestly speaking, my boyfriend and we were in a long distance relationship for the beginning part of our relationship, which is hard, period, point blank. It's hard. 10 out of 10, don't recommend unless you're built for whatever. But we were in a long distance relationship. The last weekend of August, we ended up going on this couple trip thing. So an old friend of mine was celebrating her birthday, and by celebrating it, she got this huge B&B. It was straight couples there. Actually, was anybody there single? There were some single people, but majority of everyone was in a relationship. And so my man flew down to Florida, and that was the first time we had seen each other. It had been like up and down and going through the regular stuff that couples go through. So when I saw my man, I was excited. We had a blast that weekend, needless to say. Okay, it's actually funny because, okay, I really hope that I have graduated to a level of editing that I can insert a picture. Inserts picture. Can you just find one of these sides of a picture that me and my man took? You're far too kind. Picture that me and my man took that weekend, and one of my close friends literally hit me up that weekend and was like, it's giving me baby shower vibes. It's giving me parents. There we go, speaking things up again, because sure enough, a month later, we were finding out we were pregnant. It's just so crazy. So, okay, so boom. So I say all that to say that la-di-da, the weekend passed, we had a blast. The weekend after that, I ended up flying to him. We had another blast, and that was it. Like, we kind of just went about our business. So we continued on with our long distance relationship. We did what we do. So then, a couple weeks later, I started getting soreness in my boobs. Now, when my menstrual comes around, I get soreness. Well, I used to get soreness in my boobs. So that wasn't like an alarm for me. Like, I was kind of just like, okay, like, I'm feeling sore. My menstrual's probably coming, yada, yada, yada. I swear to y'all, like, over my head was not thinking pregnancy at all. So they were sore for a day, then they were sore for 2 days, then they were sore for 3 days, then they were sore for 4. I mean, but this sore was kind of getting to a point where I was like, oh my God, this is really hurting. Like, they felt rock hard. Like, girls, you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever had a kid or if you experienced that same thing on your menstrual. And so I remember talking on the phone with my best friend, and I was telling her, like, my boobs are so sore. Again, innocently, I was just like, oh, my boobs are sore. Like, it's that time of the month again. I hate it here. 10 out of 10, don't recommend, yada, yada, yada. And she was just like entertaining me, whatever the case may be. So then, I'm not a girl who like tracks her period. Like, actually, it wasn't until like right before I got pregnant that I actually started following my cycle, because I really just knew that like my cycle was sort of irregular. So sometimes it'd come at the beginning of the month, sometimes it'd come at the end. Either way it goes, it felt like I was just never catching my breath. Like, it was like 1 week period, 1 week not, back to my period. Like, no fun. So I had just started like keeping track of it really. So as I'm feeling this pain in my boobs or whatever, okay, boom. So then I'm like, wait, has my period come? Again, y'all, thinking nothing of it, like so innocent. I was like, just trying to see, because sometimes my period would be off a few days too. Like, it was never like perfectly on the same date. Like, shout out to the girls that have a period that regular. Y'all are blessed, honey, blessed. But anyways, so I remember talking to like my closest friends and just like, dang, where my period at, like, kind of thing. So I was like, okay, let me wait. Maybe it's just like gonna fall on another day. So then, in the midst of all this, I was actually going to Cleveland Clinic, which is, I mean, you Google it, because I was dealing with some other stuff, like nothing that ended up being something serious, but I was kind of going through like biopsies in my breast, super scary stuff, like kind of not knowing what was gonna happen. Like, if you guys actually want that video too, comment below and I'll definitely share that story with y'all, because it was a nerve-wracking, terrifying experience, and I definitely think we need to talk more about the tatas, especially on Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But yeah, okay, so I was dealing with that, so I was going to doctor's appointments. So specifically, I went to one of my appointments and I was rushing, you know, trying to move, trying to get back to work, so on and so forth. I ordered Chipotle. I mean, Chipotle, what the heck? Oh, no. I ordered pollo. I went and got pollo tropical. Pollo tropical. Okay, I'm gonna act like I got some Colombian in me. And anyone who knows me knows, like, pollo is just always a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, it's always gonna hit. I'm never gonna deny. I love pollo. I could eat it every day of my life. On this particular day, I ordered a troppy chop. And y'all, I was sitting in the parking lot right before my appointment, trying to hurry up and eat my Cleveland Clinic appointment. Nothing related to anything reproductive. So I was sitting in the parking lot trying to hurry up and eat. Y'all, I pick the fork up and just like a whiff of the chicken, just like I was like I literally felt like I was going to vomit in the parking lot. And I was like, what is going on? So I ate my yuca, my fried yuca, because I love that. Like, again, if you know me, you know. So I eat my fried yuca, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like, I'm just not feeling sick when I'm eating anything else. So then, y'all, I swear to you, like, oh my God, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to try not to focus on it. Don't focus on it. Focus on me. But anyways, so I tried... I don't know why I was just so, I'm telling y'all, like, we really just were not planning this. So my mind just didn't go there. I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so sick. So then it was like a few minutes later, I was like, and I started freaking out. I started freaking out. I'm on the phone with like one of my close friends and I'm like, yo, like, I'm trying to eat pollo. I feel like I'm gonna barf. I'm about to go take a pregnancy test. And at this point, like, I was going through the motions so quickly that, like, I didn't even stop to, like, have a process of thought for real. Like, I kind of was just like, go, like, just do what's next. So I went to my appointment, did what I had to do, whatever. Went by the Walgreens, picked up some tests, went back to work. I went back to work. That's my problem. I'm like so career driven, so business driven. I went back to work. I telling my friend on the phone, I'm like, I'm about to just take the test. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's either gonna tell me I am, tell me I'm not. Because at this point I had realized, like, okay, my period still hasn't come. I feel like I'm about to barf. Like, my boobs are still hurting. I go in the bathroom, I take the test. Y'all, I mean, I feel like you're lying if you try to tell me that you've never like had pregnancy scares and you're grown. That just don't make no sense to me. I mean, unless of other circumstances. But anyways, so I literally like moving, like I'm talking about like peed on the stick, pulled my pants up, went to wash my hands, like didn't think nothing of it. I'm just thinking like this is just gonna be another like false alarm, but I just need like peace of mind. I go back up to the stick. I start hysterical crying, the happiest tears of my life, y'all. Like, there was not a moment from the second I found out to this day that I ever felt anything other than joy, excitement, like blessed. Like, I don't know, like nothing, no negative thought came to my mind. Like, I was crying, and it's kind of crazy. It's kind of corny because I was like so excited to be pregnant, but more excited to be having my boyfriend's baby. Like, I just love this man so much. So much, right? And like, I just was like so hyped, like to be sharing something so precious and so beautiful with this person who I have fallen crazy in love with. I'm talking about, like, anyone who knows me knows how important having a family was for me. Like, even though I've always been very career driven, I've been very ambitious, I've built a lot towards that. Ultimately, like, the only thing I wanted out of life was a family of my own. So, oh my God, I'm like trying not to get choked up. But yeah, so after that, I mean, everything just went full speed ahead. I ran outside on the side of the building. I'm like crying on the phone. My friend is saying like jumping up and down, screaming, like super hype. I'm like, my body went so numb in a good way. And I just remember saying, I'm having Marquis' baby. I'm having Marquis' baby. Like it was just like so surreal. I was like, oh my gosh, like, mind you, not at any point had I picked up the phone and called him yet. So then my friend's like, you gotta tell him, I'm like, yeah, I know, like, what do I do? Like, my head was like, I don't even know where my head was at this point. So I ended up leaving work, rushing home, FaceTiming my boyfriend. And I swear to y'all, like, you know how like sometimes you want to do like these cute like reviews and all this like cute stuff that you see on social media? It like the moment was so full of excitement and joy. Like, I was like, my adrenaline was pumping. I just wanted to tell him. So I kid you not, like, I called him on my iPad. I prop him up, and I just like, I'm like turning red, and I just showed the pregnancy test. It was such a crazy like moment. Like, I feel like his adrenaline went from 0 to 100, and it was crazy, y'all. It was so crazy. But that's how I found out that I got pregnant. And honestly speaking, there really is a lot that a girl really does go through when you weren't planning on having a baby. I mean, truth be told, I don't feel like you can ever really truly be prepared for it, and it's unexplainable. No one can tell you like what it really feels like, but there were just so many different emotions. And like I said, I say this to this day, I said it the whole time, I never once had a moment of like, oh crap. Like, even so much so that when I started to tell like family, everyone was kind of having these like very real, very rational thoughts, and I'm just like on cloud 9. I'm just like, yeah, that's great, but like, this is the best thing to ever happen to me with the best man that has ever happened to me. Like, it's nothing you could say. Which, speaking of, bonus details to the story time is when I told my dad I was pregnant. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a daddy's girl. So the toughest thing I have ever done, aside from like a situation like freshman year of high school with my dad, was tell him that I was pregnant. And it wasn't like scared like of his reaction. It was more so like recognizing that it was a moment where his baby girl, like his firstborn, like, I mean, the background and the history with us is like such a long story, but his baby girl was having a baby. So one night I had gone to dinner with my dad, my stepmom, and my sister, and we were at this Italian place. Everybody was drinking wine. I usually have some wine with them, and this particular night I didn't, obviously because I knew I was pregnant and I hadn't told them yet. But I just felt so uncomfortable and so weird about lying, even though like I wasn't lying. I felt like I was. So that entire night I was so uncomfortable. Like, I feel like you could see the sweat dripping from my forehead. And like, my dad just didn't suspect anything. He was just like, you don't want wine? All right, you don't want wine tonight. So then after that day, literally, I think that was a Sunday. That Monday I was at work, and I texted my dad and I was like, hey, can you meet me for lunch? Because he was working from home at the time. And on this day. And then I was like, I really need to talk to you. Or I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, I really need to talk to you. Can we meet for lunch? Met him for lunch, sat down. I honestly, like, again, I cannot tell you like what was happening around me. I can't even remember what I had ordered. I know I didn't order grilled chicken though, because that was obviously making me sick. And so my dad like was just making me so nervous. And so we were sitting there, and then finally I was like, well, so what I'm trying to tell you is about, like, kind of just like giving the whole runaround. And then finally I was like, I'm pregnant. And my dad was like, I can't even explain his reaction. Like, he was kind of just stuck, like, but not stuck like upset, stuck like waiting to see like what I felt about it. So he kind of was just like, is she gonna cry? Is she gonna smile? Is she gonna scream? What is she telling me right now? So then I told him, I was like, I'm extremely happy about it. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. And from there, like, the conversation took off, and like we just started talking about a lot of things. He was so happy for me. He was so happy to see me happy, like just me glowing. And I mean, the rest is history. I'd love to tell you guys about how I told my friends and everyone else. If you guys want that story time, or if you want those details, please comment below and tell me. But nevertheless, it was an emotional roller coaster. It was a lot of fun. But that's how I found out that I got pregnant, y'all. I really do appreciate you watching this story time. I have many more to come. Some are super funny, some are super emotional, but they're all super real. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. If you haven't hit subscribe, if you haven't hit the notifications button, like, and left a comment, please do that now before you go. And I'm gonna see y'all on my next video. Y'all already know what it is.
If I let you, don't take me for granted. Yeah. If I were good, then you could.